Hey guys, Silven here. I'm going to be bringing you a guide on how to do low level to mid level burrows today. So first off, what I'm going to show you is the requirements. You can do it at a lower level, but you start to use up a lot more prayer potions and food if you're doing it at a lower level. So my recommended stats would be 60 attack, 60 strength, and 50 defense. I would still recommend probably 60 defense as the absolute minimum, but you could definitely get a 70 attack for a whip, which would increase the speed of your runs quite drastically, which is my next aim. Then you need 50 magic and 55 slayer to cast Slayer Dart, and 43 prayer for all of your protection prayers. So there are a few different methods, but the way I'm going to be showing today is going to be just the prayer and Slayer Dart method, which does mean you require those three stats, and less so of the attack, defense, and strength, so you can do it a little bit lower level, but again, as I said, you're going to be using more food and more prayer if you have, or more food really from the kill count, after you've killed the brothers if you don't have those stats. And finally, you do need to finish Priest in Peril, and Shades of Morton is not 100% needed, but it significantly increases your likelihood of not getting rotten food, because you have 0 chance of getting rotten food compared to walking through the swamp if you finished the In Aid of Merrick or whatever they're called. So I would highly recommend the Shades of Morton quest. It's very, very easy, especially if you do it on World 377. You can do it in less than 15 minutes, and it gives you a free teleport every 20 minutes to the minigame, which is right next to Barrows. The other thing about that is that because we're doing it at a low to mid level, you're not actually going to be doing Barrows that fast. So having this teleport on a 20-minute cooldown basically means every time you leave, you can just go straight back. So it's a very, very useful teleport. So now that we've gone over the stats, we're just going to go through the items that you should have. So I've only done this a few times, so I'm not 100% on how many prayer potions you do need. So far, I'm leaning towards, I used to do it a lot on the original RuneScape, so this is my first few times on old school. I'm leaning towards 3 prayer potions with 4 uses, or 3 to 3.5 per run. So what I'm trying to do here with this inventory is to try and get 2 runs out of it. So if you're a bit lower level, I would recommend about 4 to 5 prayer potions, which and then the rest just food, and I would definitely bring a 1-click teleport and some extra armor for the kill count. So if you're a bit lower level, that might be very helpful for you, but you'll only be able to do 1 run. And at my level, if I get a few more levels, if I get to 60 magic and 70 attack, I'm very certain I'll be able to do 2 runs in one go. And I'm going to attempt that today. I may not be able to. If I don't have enough, I'm not going to attempt it, but we'll see. So firstly, you need a spade to dig into the mounds. If you do forget one, there is one just above the Barrows minigame, so you don't have to worry too much if you forget it. It's right there, but you do have to drop something for it. Then because we're going to be using Slayer Dart, we're going to be using Deaths and Mind Runes, which you do get from the chest, which means you're going to end up with more. Occasionally you'll end up with more runes than you started with. I think eventually you do anyway. It just depends on what drops for you. Sometimes you'll get Bloods or Chaos Runes, so it won't help you out, but eventually you end up with more. And a Dragon Scimitar, or a Whip, or something melee, because you're going to be using that to kill Kirill and Arim. We're not going to be using range in this guide. I have 26 range, which isn't going to help, so this is also another helpful tip for those people who don't actually have range. They don't. Arim is weak to range, but you can still kill him pretty easily with melee. And I'm bringing a Dragon Dagger just for the special attacks, just because it can kill him much faster if you get all those specs off. then I'm going to be bringing a super attack and super strength potion. So you can choose to use 2 doses per run or 1. So it's up to you. What 1 dose will do is it will regenerate your. So firstly, it will give you the boost of attack and strength. But when you get to a rim, he'll drain your attack and strength. So you end up with what you started with, basically, at the end of that fight. So you can use another dose to then get your kill count up very quickly. So it's entirely up to you at that point. I prefer to just use 1 dose per trip, but because it might speed up the process, maybe save you some food, maybe just use the 2 doses. I'm going to try 2 doses this time. But otherwise, you can bring 1 restore potion if you want to save that slot for a piece of food or a prayer potion. And I'm going to fill the rest up with sharks. Then in my stat screen, so you're going to have your best prayer armor available, but you're also going to have pieces of magic equipment as well. So I've got a prayer cloak. They're actually cheaper than obby capes. Obby capes are like 300k, and prayer cloaks are like 50 or 60k, the Guthans one maybe. So they're very, very cheap, so anyone can afford it at that point. They give a good prayer bonus. Then the initiate armor, or proselyte if you have it, and I've afforded the Book of Balance, but the purple one, I can't remember the exact name, but the purple one's the best one. It gives you a magic attack bonus of 10 and a prayer bonus of 5 or 6 or whatever it is. So it gives you the ideal stats that you want. So you want to get your magic to the least negative number possible. You're going to be using it for the Barrows brothers that are melee only. They have basically no magic defense, so your Slayer Dart's going to hit quite hard, which means you don't exactly need super high, or you don't need any magic attack really. It's just that the higher it is, the more chance you're going to hit, the faster your run's going to be, the less prayer potions you're going to use. The best amulet you can use, so obviously Fury, Glory, Magic amulets are going to be your best one. If you're super poor, just get the Magic amulet, gives you plus 10, that's what you want. But otherwise, Fury or Glory. The Slayer Staff obviously requires 55 Slayer to wield. And I use a Ring of Dueling. So what that means is you can actually, in your inventory screen, you can right click on it and click to Castle Wars. So it's not a 1-click teleport. It's a 3-click teleport. You got to click to your inventory, right click, and Castle Wars. So that's how I get out of the Barrows, because if you're feeling unsafe, if it's your first go, I recommend a Ring of Life and a 1-click teleport. I used to just home teleport and bring the Ring of Wealth, because the Ring of Wealth gives you, I'm fairly certain, because I've had a little bit of a search around, and it says that you do get an extra chance on the rare drop table when you open the chest, but again, I'm not 100% sure, and this way if I mess up or I'm lagging or something, I can still teleport out without trying to use the home tele, which is very hard in Barrows. And I use magic mystic boots and gloves just to increase my magic bonus. So once I do get to 60 magic, obviously I'm going to be using the magic cloak. I might get infinity boots and gloves later, so eventually I'll be close to 0 in the magic bonus, which means you're going to be hitting a bit more, and you may use a bit fewer prayer potions. So a lot about Barrows is just managing your equipment and gear, just so that you don't, so you can go on more trips. So like just finding out that balance of prayer potions to food kind of thing. And the biggest thing is Varak can quite often ruin it by using up several sharks, unfortunately. So yeah, it's just about finding that balance for you. So try, bringing an extra prayer potion next time, or bringing 1 extra food next time, or maybe you've never used these 2 food, like at the very bottom, maybe you just use all these food and 2 food here. So instead you're just going to bring, I don't know, a 1-click teleport, or range armor if you feel like it, that kind of stuff. Range can speed it up, but again, I prefer to have extra prayer potions kind of thing. Alright, so let's start. So first, because we've finished the Shades of Morton quest, we can teleport to the Shades of Morton minigame, and then we're going to go directly to the east to Barrows. The other thing I do is I run until I'm at like 70%. I really like to keep about 70 to 80% of my run energy for the tunnels, because if you mess up one of the quizzes on the doors, it'll rotate where the door opens, and then you're going to use up a lot more energy. But you do get your energy back quite a bit when fighting the brothers, because you're standing still for a bit. So make sure you've got your spell on, and we start with Darok, then we're going to go to Varak. So we're going to start at the top right. There's a spade up here, as I said before. If you've forgotten to bring your spade, it's up there. And so you just walk over to the mound, dig on it, and I've got my quick select as protect from melee. So I just turn it on straight as I get in. Because I'm Australian, I can't really quick flick the prayers, but I can do it outside of the Barrows. It's just I don't really want to risk taking like a 30 or a 38 kind of hit from Darok, just because I misclicked and it's lagged a bit. So if you do want to flick your prayers, you can do that here. It's pretty easy. So as you can see, we're killing him pretty fast, even though we have no real magic bonus. I think the max hit is 15, I'm not 100% sure. And then I just turn off my prayer as I walk up. So then we're going to go to Varak. That was much faster than my last go, actually. And then we're going to do the same thing. Now Varak can hit through prayer and armor, so you need to be careful of your prayer and food at this point. Hopefully you don't fight him in the tunnels. He's the biggest pain to fight in the tunnels. Apart from Darok, actually, because Darok can occasionally spawn when you're walking through a door and then hit you really hard. It's a pretty big pain in the ass. So as I said, he hits through prayer and armor. When the faces pop up, they drain more some of your prayer. I'm pretty sure they drain more prayer the more brothers you killed, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. So we're going quite good so far, actually. It's gonna eat. So then the next one we're going to do is Guffin, and then Torag, and then we'll go down to Kirill, and then lastly Arim. So Arim actually drains our stats the most, so Torag drains agility, which doesn't really matter unless you really need it for your energy, but you don't. The other possibility is that you bring a stamina potion. They're quite effective. But honestly, you should have enough run energy if you manage it correctly. Alright. Now, don't be afraid to drink some extra prayer potions, because you do want to not use as many prayer potions as possible, because once you get into the catacombs, it's going to be drained to zero pretty quickly as you're walking through there. So there's not much point having full prayer on Arim, our last brother. You want to like slightly like manage your prayer, so you just drink when you're low, basically. Alright, so again we're just doing the same thing, and then we'll move over to Torag and do the same thing again. And then for some other people it will get slightly different, where they'll switch to ranged armor, but I believe, to me, that kind of reduces the amount of trips you can do, I think. I might be wrong about that though. And just always make sure you kill them, because occasionally I've like walked out before I've killed them, and then I didn't get the drop for it. Just gonna close Steam for a minute. Alright. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before, like have the prayer as soon as you walk in, because I got hit by him and he hit a 0, but on that rare occasion that he does hit you a pretty big hit, you can lose 1 or 2 food which can reduce your run. Like, it can mean that you only do 1 run instead of 2 runs. So we're actually going quite good this time. Last time I went through, I used up 5 sharks on Varak, so that wasn't very good. But I also hadn't put the Mystic gloves and boots on, so I think that's letting me hit a bit more. Just gonna drink another potion, so we're doing quite good with the potions too. Alright, we're looking good. I reckon we might be able to get 2 runs out of this. Alright, so now we go Dragon Scimitar. We drink our super attack and super strength. It's going to be drained when we go to a rim, but for now it's just good to have it on. And we're going to use our Dragon Dagger on a rim because that's the one that's going to be the slowest. Alright, sweet. And possibly this could be the brother that is the tunnel anyway. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Last brother. Well, before we go into the Catacombs. Alright. Alright. Now he drains your stats regardless of whether you have Protect from Magic on or not. And that's why I use the super strength and super attack. So they'll basically reset your stats. Ooh, that was a close one. That was on 1 prayer. So yeah, we'll have a look at our stats. So they'll, as he weakens us, they'll reset, and then we can drink another super attack and super strength once we're in the tunnels and getting our kill count. This is another point I was trying to think of before, where you can actually bring some armor for the tunnels, and maybe that will reduce how much food you use. But remember, each piece of armor has to reduce it by another 20 HP. So I was thinking of maybe bringing a dragon chain body, and then that might reduce it by 20, but it's a bit iffy. So this is the part where I believe that bringing range probably increase the speed of this, but does it increase it by a full prayer potion or a full 20 HP? I'm not 100% sure. Possibly. Because you have to bring 3 slots for it. You have to bring a bow, then you have to bring 2 pieces of armor. The other thing is, don't do what this guy's doing. Magic is really weak against a ring. Unless you're a very high magic level. Hopefully I don't need to drink another prayer potion. I probably will though. Yes, I will. Alright, we're going good. Hopefully I don't need to drink another one. So you can see I've used 3. I'm going to use another half prayer potion, so that wasn't great on the prayer potions this time. Hopefully I use it. Come on. Come on. And it's perfect. Just as I run out. So yeah, that's the perfect scenario. Okay, so you can see here my stats have got, actually I've lost a lot more in strength, but so that's why you can drink another dose of potion. So maybe always bring 2 doses of potion, and when you get into the Catacombs you're going to fare a bit better. Alright, sweet. So we'll go down. So in the Catacombs, only 1 door will open. The rest of them will just say examine. And then you just got to follow your way all to the center. That's basically it. And then there'll be like a little puzzle for you. And so I've got it luckily here. What you can do, so it's not an examine door, goes to the center. So what you can do, and what I do, is I usually walk right here, and you look to the other side, and you can right click on each door and see if it says examine, and you can see which door you need to go to. So obviously this one's the correct one, but if it wasn't, then I can just, maybe it was this one, and then I can see, oh, open door, okay, I'll go this way, or okay, I'll go all the way around. Doesn't make too much difference because you'll go into each room anyway, but it's good to know where you're going. So you can see we've taken 10 minutes already. This isn't a very fast run because again we're at low level, but by the time we've finished, it'll be like 2 or 3 minutes or something, or occasionally it will be done, and then you can just teleport back. But I am going to try. I think I'm right to try 2. So you just got to figure out the patterns. I'm pretty. I don't remember them off by heart, so you just gotta figure out the pattern. It's very simple. I just wasn't really looking at the time. I think it's this one. Alright, then you can go through. So our aim is there is a thing online where it tells you exactly what to get for your kill count. But it's like where you add up the Barrows brothers combat level and all the combat level of the monsters you kill to 1,000, I believe, and then that will give you the max amount of runes and stuff. I'm not 100% sure. It's like 5 skeletons or something, but I can't remember exactly. So I just go for 14 kill count of anything, and that will almost always add up to 1,000. I'm pretty sure it always adds up to 1,000. So that's just what we're going to go for this time. The thing is, I should probably figure out what it is, so maybe I save 1 food or something. So what's going to happen is, as soon as we open that chest, a Barrows brother will pop out. He can pop out when you go through a door as well. And I recommend just fighting them when they go through a door. You can safe spot on each corner. So this is one of the corner ones. And then there's a corner one over here and a corner one down there. Each corner part of the crypt has a ladder, but only one of them you can exit or enter via. So the other ones are invisible, you can't use them, but they're still there and you can use them as a safe spot. So I recommend doing that if you're low on health or something. Alright, so I'm just going to kill the skeleton and then I'm going to open the chest. And I'm going to switch to my... Wait, what was I versing? Oh, I'm versing a rim. Okay. No, sorry, Kirill. So I'm going to do it with the scimitar and dragon dagger. And I'm just going to drink some prayer potions. But as soon as the face... I'm going to wait for the face to show... Oh, maybe I won't have a chance. I'm just going to do it now. And I took too much damage. Because of that, I may not be able to do another run. Stupid. So little mistakes like that. Plus, I've used too many prayer potions, so I'm so close. If I just level up a little bit more, I'm going to be able to do 2 runs easily. It's just so close. I'm just not there yet. Okay, so as soon as I kill Kirill, I'm gonna search the chest and hopefully I get a good drop. Hopefully for the video it's a good drop. And then I'm going to go to my inventory and I'm going to teleport to Jewel Arena. So if I wanted to do the run again, I would walk out these doors, walk up the ladder, and then I would go and just start digging on the mounds again. But I don't have enough for it. Especially if I let my prayer run out. Yeah. Cool. Sweet. So wish me luck. And I got nothing. So I'm just gonna teleport out. Oops, I meant to go to Jewel Arena because you reset your stats. That's alright. Alright, so reset your stats. It's a 5-minute wait, so I actually did it much faster than my last 2 times. But there's other teleports that you can use. For example, if you bring a teleport to Morton, and I think there's a Barrows teleport now, I'm not 100% sure on that one. It's probably very expensive though, but the Morton teleport's like 7k. You can just click the teleport and then you can go and pick up the spade, so bring it instead of the spade. So yeah, that's my guide on how to do low-level Barrows runs. And hopefully, so maybe just getting 70 in each of those stats and 60 magic means I'll be able to do 2 runs, maybe a bit more prayer means, yeah, I'll just be able to do 2 runs. Yeah, just leave me a comment if you like. the video, and I'll see what else I can make. Thank you.